All right, 2-6. Not an incredibly difficult level. It's actually pretty underrated, in my opinion. It's a very fun stage. I really like it. It's one of the tamer levels in World 2. It's definitely a breather from 2.5. But there can be some tricky stuff in this stage when you're first starting out. But this is one of those ones that you can, spend a few hours practicing all the major stuff, and it should come pretty naturally. I mean, if you've made it to 2-6, then you're doing pretty good. So when you start off on this flat piece of ground, you pretty much just want to avoid the slopes, jump up. Now you're going to do a little special setup here. And it's because you want to ground pound in a certain specific spot through this foam. So what I do is I hit that first yellow block. I get the egg. I hit the block and I get this. I jump out. I get this egg here. But as I'm getting this egg, I use this block to stop Yoshi's forward momentum. So I hug the side of this block so that I am positioned. And I kind of just hug the side of that block. So that then as soon as I know that I'm in line and I hug the side of the block, I jump up to get that one. And then I start ground pounding. That's kind of a silly little setup. I mean, where it's really actually a good setup, but it's hard to kind of see what's happening here, and that's why I'm going back. So you hit that one, and you jump into the side of the block to lock your horizontal position. And as soon as your horizontal position is locked, jump up again so that you can grab this yellow egg. And as you grab the egg, you start ground pounding. And what that little setup does, it ensures that you ground pound in exactly this position. And that is very important because it sets you up for a pixel perfect shot you're about to take. So as you're ground pounding, right as you ground pound through this last skinny section here, this bottom of this, you let go of ground pound. And when you do is what that'll do is it'll make you ground pound through a single tile of foam here. And then when you do that, you're immediately going to start aiming an egg. And you're looking for a very precise angle here. If you don't get it, you have to shuffle the egg. And I missed it a few times. I missed it again. And I got it that time. And what I look for here is I look for this... it's hard to really describe here. I look for the corners of the cursors touching these little... I mean, this is the angle you want here. And what you do is when you get that angle, you let go of the shot and then walk off and stand here. And you don't have to stand there. You just walk off. And what happens is there is a section here down here with a bumper with those two gates that you do the same kind of gates that you would gate hack on. They're right here. But what happens is they are not loaded in. And that shot, when you make that shot like that and you walk off, the egg ricochets perfectly down the wall and it passes through where those gates would be. And actually you can see right there at the bottom there's 3 red coins. And that's what you're aiming for. And that as long as you get that specific angle and you just walk off and throw the egg and then walk off and land here, it will get those 3 coins every single time. So I'm just gonna back up a little bit so you can kind of see what that looks like. So you let go of ground pound right there, and then start aiming your egg. And as soon as you get that angle, throw it, and then bounce off, or just kind of bounce up there. I don't tarry there. That's you just landing there and then bouncing out is enough time for you to be there for it to work. So, and then I have to jump back up here, and depending on how many eggs I have, I had 5 here, so I just got those red coins and ate that one guy and kept going. So what I do here is I ground pound right on this, right in the middle of this, so that I'm ground pounding ground pounding two columns of foam at the same time. And then I let go as I'm passing through this last section of foam here. So I actually did it a little too late there. But because you're going to use this wall here, you're going to, as soon as you get the flower and the coins over here, you're going to come back and push Yoshi up against this wall so it locks his position, and then ground pound all the way down. That's why I do that, is so that I have this as a setup. But anyway, here's that bumper I was talking about. If you obviously try to throw an egg at that, it's going to bounce off. So the way you threw that egg up there, it ricocheted perfectly through here because these were not loaded in, and it got those 3 coins over here. It's a really, really neat shot. I like it a lot. It's very, very cool how that happens. So anyway, I jump out of here. Like I said, I ground pounded too deep in here. You typically want it to only be about right here. So what you'll see some people do is throw an egg for a shot here. Truth be told, I'm just lazy and haven't learned it yet. So I just manually run down here and grab those to save an egg. And like I said, you touch that wall and then ground pound. And you just want to go all the way down. And then as you're coming down here, there's 3 red coins right here. And you'll get both of those as you come down. And as you jump off of this spring, this upspring here, you want to throw a neutral, and it will get that third coin down there. And it's really not too difficult. Sometimes you can do it wrong and you won't get enough height to get back up, and you have to fall down and jump back up again. But you just kind of have to play with the timing on that and see what works for you. Anyway, you just do that and grab that coin. And what I do is I land there, jump on the platform here, and then jump up and start aiming an egg. And as soon as it's in line with this cloud, I let it go. And then eat that guy, and then in the door. So, depending on how many eggs you have in here, just avoid the slopes, eat that guy, and depending on how many eggs you have, lantern guys will start popping out of this pipe. So if you have one there, tongue him. And then if you have to tongue him, don't swallow him through this little incline section. Wait until you jump right here to swallow him. But you want to avoid getting hit by this spinning mace. Bounce off of this all the way up until you get to this platform right here. Stop and then look up, jump up, and throw an upshot. And there's an angle here that egg will bounce off and do a right angle and get these coins. What can happen sometimes here, and is really, really annoying when it happens, for some reason, the egg, when you jump up to throw the upshot here, the egg will just hit this wall and die as a red egg. And I don't know why it happens, but it's super frustrating when it happens. If that happens, you're just going to have to jump up and throw another egg. But anyway, jump up, throw the egg, get those coins. And I fall down here. And then I kind of ran on that slope, and I do that just because I don't like jumping to try to avoid it because it messes me up. So I run down that little incline there, and I grab this guy, and I swallow him as I'm passing through, and you want to jump down here and land. And as soon as you land down here, I look for this white crystal here on the ground, and then I jump up and throw an upshot at the same time. And what that does is you'll get the ring, and then the egg bounces through here and gets those red coins. But on the same token, you're getting ready to throw yet another egg. So after the upshot, you're then looking for this crystal in the ground. As soon as you pass over it, throw a neutral. And while this egg is getting those coins, this egg will break open the foam and break open a cloud with a door in it. And you want to be really careful here, because if your egg misses these 3 coins and you have to manually go over here and get them, and you've already cracked this door open, that door can despawn. And obviously that loses just a ton of time. So you really want to be careful. If your egg misses one of those coins, I would throw another egg at it before you fall down here, because you risk the door despawning if you don't do that. So follow the door down, go in it. And in here, there's 4 lantern guys that you need to kill to get a flower to pop up right here. Which, the way I do this room, you will not see the flower pop up. Yoshi will just be in this position as the flower loads in, or as it spawns in. And I'll be right on top of it, and it'll just pop. So you almost never see it. So the first thing you want to do is grab this guy, upspit him, because he's going to hit this and pop open some stars. You grab the second one in your mouth again, spit him forward. And then on the last one, you tongue him, jump up, swallow, and there's the flower popping in. Swallow him as you touch the flower, and you'll see it pop. And then you can grab all your coins and your stars on the way out. And you really want to make sure you're at 25 stars here. So again, these little white crystals in the ground are going to be huge because they're... this is now our 3rd one that we've used for a visual cue. As I start running left, as soon as I pass over that white crystal, I throw a neutral and jump to avoid the slope there. And what that egg does is it goes up there and it drops one of those upward spring pads. And I swallow that guy again because he's back, because you've been in a door and come back. I jump up, and I get that flower. Now... There is a faster strat you can do here. What some people will do is they come up here. They will have a shot angled and locked right here, and they will go straight up through here, and they will throw the upshot into this thing here, which is what you're aiming for. I personally hate that strat. I know it's faster and it looks really cool, and it's faster, whatever. The neutral against the wall here, which is the strat I'm going to showcase, is a lot easier. It's a lot easier, and it guarantees consistency, which you're going to hear my theme throughout this video, or throughout these tutorial videos: consistency, consistency, consistency. The high level runners can do the YOLO strat here, and it's consistent for them. They're just better than me, and I'm okay with that. I'm just not good at this strat, so I opt not to do it, because I would really like to not miss this and have to, because if you miss this, if you miss that YOLO strat, it actually costs you more time than if you just do this strat. So I recommend learning the YOLO strat because it's fun, but I don't recommend doing it if you struggled as much as I did with it. Just do what's consistent. So anyway, throw the neutral there, it'll pop down. You get the flower, and as soon as I land right here, I hug the wall, and then throw a neutral. And as soon as I throw the neutral, I jump up, and I jump up, and then jump up again right before the egg starts to do its thing on these arrow clouds. So I jump up, I throw the neutral, and then I bounce up again as the egg is doing its thing, and it will ricochet and follow the clouds, and then get the flower. So if sometimes when you do the YOLO strat here, sometimes the egg will die right here, and if that happens, you have to go all the way around, and you have to lock in a horizontal shot right here as you're coming down. You have to lock and then throw an egg through here to get this flower, which is obviously very, very slow. So as I'm after I regain control of Yoshi, because I did that quick jump again off that right there, because I did that quick jump, when I regain control of Yoshi, he's already in the air, and then I bounce off that lantern guy to get an extended flutter. And after you get your extended flutter, if you accidentally bonk right here, you can just drop down and get another extended flutter off this guy or this bat. So I get the extended flutter, and I land there, and then I jump up, and as I'm falling down from this spring jump, I start aiming an egg, and I throw it at this cloud, and then jump up as it's popping open to get the stars. And you want to avoid these cannons here, obviously. And then skip the mid-ring if you can. If you're not confident, take it. Because if you die or fall down here for whatever reason, or lose a bunch of stars, or, you know, and you didn't take that mid-ring, then, you know, you're going to have to replay all of 2-6. But if you took that mid-ring, then you save yourself a bunch of time. But that's only if you feel like you need that safety net. But if you feel like you need it, then by all means take that mid-ring. Because you're already at 30 stars here, so it literally takes less than half a second for you to hit that mid-ring and go out. So what I do here, when I come in here, I tongue this guy and jump at the same time. And then I immediately jump and spit that guy that I just tongued into the cactus here, so that it pops him and gets him out of the way so I don't get hit. And I'll swallow this guy, or I'll tongue him, and then I wait until I'm jumping down here to swallow him. And then up. And it is totally up to you how many eggs you want to get here. If I'm at 2 or 3, then I usually just grab one more and keep going. But because I was already at 4 here, I just went ahead and grabbed all 6 because it was just 2. But you can do whatever you're comfortable with here. But one thing to note, when you pop out of here, you'll notice this in 3-4 as well. When Yoshi pops out of here and lands in the water, you want to wait till he splashes, and then his head pops up again before you try to move. So swim over, jump out, and then I just grabbed two eggs here. You do some jumps, 1, 2, and then on this 3rd jump, you jump and start aiming an egg, and to clear out this foam here. And you kind of run through here, and then I start aiming an egg to where it will bounce here and then ricochet into the flower. And I kind of messed up this jump here during this last section. I fell down there on accident. But anyway, you don't want to do that. You just run and then jump off that chomp rock and keep going. Now, for the Z-Wing, what you can do, the YOLO strat is to jump over this flower. I do not recommend that crap. Don't freaking do that. It is literally a YOLO strat that'll get you hit, and I mean, the goal ring is right here. So if you get hit, then, you know, anyway, don't do that strat. It's stupid and pointless. So what you do here is you're coming through and you ground pound right there. I mean, it's not a precise position. You can ground pound anywhere right here, but the goal is to make this flower drop his petals so you can grab one. And then you jump and keep going to avoid the slopes, and then use that petal to Z-Wing out. And that's 2-6. Other than the first screen and some of the cave section, it's really not too bad. It's a very satisfying level when things go right. But like I said, it's underrated. It's got some really cool stuff. Like, it really kind of showcases the neat mechanics and the techniques and the exploits for the game that you can take advantage of, like like not loading the bumpers in to get those 3 coins at the beginning. I think it's really kind of neat, and showcases a lot of really cool stuff. So anyway, we're going to play it from the beginning so you guys can see what it looks like without any stops.